Hi everyone, this is Liz from Mindfully Serene. I'm also known as the Mindfulness Diva. I help you have more joy, peace and calm in your life through mindfulness. So we all want to be happy, right, in our lives. But unfortunately, often the more we try to be happy, the less we actually are. Because we usually look to the outside for something outside, external to us, to fill us in. So it could be material possessions, or we're looking for other people to make us feel good. We're looking for the perfect relationship, the perfect friends, or we're looking for a big house, more money, the job that's going to fulfill us so that we can finally feel really happy. And of course it doesn't work that way because it has to come from within. If we don't feel good about ourselves first, if we don't feel a certain sense of inner peace, inner joy, inner contentment, we're not going to be able to feel happy. We're not going to be able to have the life that we want, and as a result we won't be able to feel fulfilled. And of course I know that from my own experience, because I've mentioned it before, for a long time I felt very dissatisfied because I felt very unhappy because I didn't feel good within myself. Because I was always either so caught up in the past, rehashing past events, or worrying about things, because I had so many self-doubts, insecurities about myself, that I couldn't find any joy, any contentment in the present moment, and therefore within myself. So I was always looking to the outside to fill me. For me, it wasn't so much material possessions, but it was waiting for other people to make me feel good. And yes, you know that that doesn't work. First of all, because when we do that, we tend to attract people who are at the same stage as we are in their lives. So people who are not going to be able to make us feel good because they themselves don't feel very good about themselves and are waiting for the same thing. So this doesn't work. That's why there's so many people as well, of course, in our society, that even though they seem to be successful to the outside world, that they don't feel successful because they don't, within themselves, they don't feel happy, they don't feel good. And then you end up always wanting more. Nothing is ever good enough. You always want more. One day, finally, I'll be happy. So it took me quite a long time to realize and to stop doing that. Like, yes, I need this will make me happy. This will make me, change my life completely. When I started to realize that, and after quite a lot of mindfulness practice, I could actually now feel this sense of inner joy, inner contentment within myself. And I didn't know it was possible, honestly. I had no idea. I didn't think that I could feel that way. So now that doesn't mean that, when you feel a sense of inner contentment like this, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be great. It doesn't mean that you're going to be happy in your life all the time. And it could still be that you're not necessarily happy right now with everything that's going on in your life, because there'll always be ups and downs. There'll always be moments that are a bit more difficult. There's going to be some times that emotionally it's going to be a bit tougher. We might still get triggered by things, even if we've practiced mindfulness for a long time. We're all human. It's just that now, when we feel better within ourselves, and we have a stronger sense of self and feel more inner joy, peace and contentment, then we have the tools, of course, to deal with more emotionally difficult situations. We're able to deal better with things not going according to plan. So then we're able to, to continue with what we're doing, to put in place things that we need to do so that we can, have the kind of life that we want to have. So how can you experience this sense of inner joy, inner contentment, inner peace? So of course mindfulness is such a great way to be able to live right now, to really appreciate what's going on in the present moment, which is what I wasn't able to appreciate for a very long time, and that's what so many people don't appreciate, because we're just so caught up in our thoughts, or we're distracted by technology, by whatever is going on, whether in our heads or outside. So what are some of the tips that I can give you to help you being more in the present moment, so that you can really feel this sense of inner joy and contentment? Because the more you practice being present, being here, you connect with something that's greater than yourself. Because we do, when we do meditation, or just when we practice mindfulness through our everyday activities, we feel much more connected to everything around us, connected to ourselves and also everything around us. So first of all, we'll try to be present as much as possible during the day. So meditation is of course a great way to start the day, and to meditate obviously different times in the day, but it's a great state. It's a great way to start the day, because you feel really centered, grounded, which then is going to help you through the rest of the day. However, it's not just meditation. It's really important to be present, to be able to do as many activities as possible by being in the present moment. So doing as many activities that you can mindfully. So you can start in the morning by brushing your teeth mindfully. Just really feeling the sensations, the brush against your teeth, just really connecting with the sensations. You can of course take a shower mindfully, again just feeling the running water against your skin and the soapy water, just really connecting with the sensations, and just letting whatever thoughts come in, just bringing yourself back to the sensations that you're feeling right now. You can prepare breakfast mindfully as well. Eat mindfully, which means something that we did actually last week as part of a Living with Mindful Awareness meetup group that I'm doing. It's about just really appreciating the sensations, so the taste, the smell of the food, just be really connected, engaged with what's happening as you are eating. And then continuing throughout the day, even with walking, as you get to work as well, just making time, you take a few breaths, just watching the breath, connecting with how you feel right now. Also, what's really important is to be grateful for what you have, because it's so easy to focus on what we don't have, or what we don't have yet, that we might have one day, but right now we don't have it, so we're not quite happy. So it's really important to focus on actually what we have, and that also made a big difference for me when I started to do that. If you can, I found very, very useful is to think about 3 things I'm grateful for every morning. That's also a really good way of starting the day, or you can do it at the end of the day, whatever works for you, or do both. And so I found it also really important to focus on what you achieve rather than what you haven't achieved yet. Again, that's something that we tend to do much more easily. We focus on the negative, so we focus on the things that we haven't achieved yet. We're not quite yet there, rather than focusing actually on what we have done. So I find it really helpful at the end of the day to focus on what I've achieved. Even if it's small things, even if it's sent, 2 emails that day for, something that that you wanted to do as part of your work or whatever it is, just focus on things that you actually achieved. And also, of course, letting negative self-judgments go. So there's different techniques to do that. One way that you can do, again, you can do that during the day. You don't actually have to stop and take time out to do that. It's to notice whenever there's negative self-judgment come in, because we're so good again at giving ourselves a hard time. It's about just saying, oh, I notice that I'm having the thought right now that, that it's too hard, or that I'm, not good enough to do this. And just letting them go. And again, the more you practice doing that, by naming those thoughts, you don't get hooked into them. So then you're able to just come back and bring yourself back to the present moment. So I hope that's been helpful. So I'm going to be back now every week to do Facebook Live after taking a little break. And so if you don't know, I have started a meetup group called Living with Mindful Awareness. We've had a few events so far that have been really, really great, really successful. And next week we're actually having one of these events is Share, Learn and Connect event, which I have once a month. And next week on Thursday, on the 2nd of November, we have our last Share, Learn and Connect event for the year. With a great speaker, Helen Bolger-Harris, who is going to be talking to us about how to avoid procrastination. So who doesn't need that, right? So it's in South Melbourne. So I've got all the details on my on all my pages and my Facebook group as well, Living with Mindful Awareness. So if you can make it, that'll be great to see you then. So see you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.